so interested in seeing what him and Quinn Ewers do this coming year. There's been so much hype.
We have a pretty dangerous running back in Blake Corum.
Maryland's gone. Talia Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
A little too backyard football.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football. And you see who I'm with on this Wednesday evening.
Yep.
Happy Hump Day! My guy and host of Restoring the Roar, Alex Loosemore. What up, Alex?
Not too much, man. Happy to be talking about games that happened, as well as looking forward to games like we've been all off season. But some fun football this past weekend, and I mean, obviously, our guys are starting to play this weekend, so couldn't be more excited.
Yes, and it was. You know what? I can't even lie about it because I talked to you about it, ladies and gentlemen. We do this show. We go for 2 hours. The excitement level. It's palpable. It's through the roof. Like I just threw it. And if you actually go back and look at the last show, towards the end, you can see I'm a little distracted. Long story short, my amazing, beautiful fiance decides that that day was the day that she wanted to gift me with preseason tickets to see the Washington Commanders. It was actually pretty good. We got to see it. It was great and everything, but I did not get to watch any college football last week until after the fact. Obviously, I stayed up all night watching all these other games. But like you said, it feels great to be talking about college football and not just saying we wonder what's going to happen when they finally play.
Yeah. Now we know what's going to happen or know what's happened. You can have a really good idea of what's going to happen the next week, the week after. And it's a good feeling. We're here.
Absolutely. Chris, and you know what else is another good feeling? Chris, I know you have this. Your team is first in the SEC. Let's go. I
mean, technically our teams are tied for first in their conference too. So.
Yep. We're the best in the ACC right now. That's right. Man. Yep. What's going on, Nathan? Talk about the Battle of the Carolinas. Oh, man. You said they're getting ready for Maryland. Yeah. Serengeti. So, you hope you'll be ready. Who you guys play this week? Nathan?
Oh, who do they play? I'll look it up quick.
Chris said fair point.
Fair point.
oh, man. So, hey, like we were talking about, while my guy looks that up, or Nate, you can let us know if you know. It is back, and so much better talking about these games.
Towson.
Oh, well, that should be a dub.
Yeah.
Hey, actually, for that Nate's close to both schools, so that might be a little rough on you, buddy. But like you said, they were games. They were actual games that played. If you wanted competition, you had to wait till later in the evening because that first game was as expected. Notre Dame blows out Navy 42-3. But like we said, I mean, even just pit stop there for a second. Sam Hartman was as advertised. The team was as advertised, but this is what we expected, right? Like, we didn't think they were getting trouble from Navy.
No, and I mean, last year they did get trouble from Navy. It was they kind of owned the first half, and then the game completely flipped. Navy started coming back and made it a game. But I mean, that was with Drew Pine at quarterback. You've got Sam Hartman now, massive upgrade, a guy that's been there, done that, knows how to manage a game, control the field, control the guys on the field. And you could tell that right from the start. It was rhythm throws, and it looked like he had been on the team for a year or two. Like, it was just those rhythm throws were seamless. Now, I mean, it's a lot easier when the guys are wide open. But, I mean, Navy was getting pressure. He moved in the pocket fairly well. It was as advertised for Sam Hartman, but boy, was it still ever impressive.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And and shout out to, people that are watching. We've been saying Sam Hartman, Sam Hartman, Sam Hartman ever since last year. And a couple people hit us up, kind of like, hey, I'm not seeing anything special. And again, with the competition, you're not going to get this, back and forth. But at the same time, I thought you made a great point in the group chat where you were like, this is what we expected to see in this type of matchup.
Yep.
He doesn't have to throw 50 passes. He can hand it all. You have two solid running backs that can get the job
If
done.
not more.
Well, we're right. Led by Estime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so, I mean, they did what they needed to do. And to be quite honest, like, don't show everything. I don't want them to show their whole offense this week. I love that they ran the ball with the efficiency that they did, because now other teams don't know, okay, what new wrinkles do they have? What are they going to try out? So this is expected, but it was a good first win.
Well, and for me, what I was looking at for Sam Hartman, I wasn't looking for those eye-popping plays, the eye-popping numbers, even though he gave us real good numbers. Mm-hmm. I was looking for how is he fitting in with the guys? How is those timing routes, those out routes? How's his comfortability with that offensive line, with those receivers, with like more the team aspect than how he was gonna do stat wise. And he showed me everything I needed to see. He looks like he's been on that team for a long time, and it was a seamless fit.
Oh yeah. And to that point, you saw, I mean, the help around him. If there's any question we wanted to see is, we know how stacked the team normally is, but like you said, can they mess with him? Hey, you got two wide receivers busting over, 60 yards, each getting a touchdown. Jaden Greathouse and Jalen Thomas, man, who combined for 3 touchdowns and over 130 yards. That's enough. I liked it.
Yeah.
Good. Let's do what we need to do. You're in Dublin, Ireland, not Dublin, Ohio. Yeah. You do what you need to do, and you move on. So I definitely love that. I want to get to another game on this list. You and I talked about it in the SEC. Vanderbilt versus Hawaii. Obviously, that's blowout. This year, it was a little bit closer, but first and foremost, shout out to our guy, Chris. I tailgated for 10 hours, sat in the rain for most of the first half. It was on campus for our season opener for 14 hours. And got
nice.
Much respect, man.
Yeah. Well, this game was much better than, pretty much anybody expected. Now, Hawaii struggled to field a team last year. They didn't really have talent in general on that roster. This Hawaii team looks much better than last year. I don't know that the record will change that much, just because it's tough. But props to Vandy. They showed out, played very well. And that game started to slip away late, and they held on and got the win. So, I think that was great for Vanderbilt. People that have watched the show for a while know how we feel. We feel it's realistic for them to go 5-0, 6-0, possibly undefeated going into Georgia. Yeah. And props to them for holding on and winning that game.
Yeah. Now, what I will say, and he said, don't let the score fool you. It was a 7-point win. They led by 3 touchdowns with 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
Yes. What I will say, and to your point about Hawaii, they've been able to field the team this year. It was a lot different last year. Shout out to Tommy Chang, the coach. But I want to say, that towards the end of that, when Hawaii started coming back and they started dropping them dimes and throwing bombs on them, I was a little questioning, around Vandy, because I was like, yo, you got the lead. Yep. I understand it's nice and easy to coast, but you still got to put these guys away.
Well, and Chris's next comment there is how I felt about it too. I think they're easy fixes. No. It's more just getting on your guys to stay in the game, stay focused, and trust the things that you do.
Yeah.
And that's an easy fix. If it was schematic, like Chris is saying they aren't, then it becomes an issue, because then you have to change parts of that entire defense, and that's tricky to do when you're already in the season. So I think they'll be just fine.
Yeah. let's and again, we've picked them like you, Chris. We picked them to go 5-0, potentially 5-1. Down the
Yeah.
stretch going into those SEC games. So yeah, much power to you, man. Hopefully they can get this thing done. What's up to some of the people in the comments? My guy Casey saying, yo, what it do? What is going on?
What's up, man?
Nathan said that will be a blowout. Townsend is developing football program. Absolutely. Yeah. Much respect to you. And our guy Colin in the comments saying, howdy,
What's up,
fellas.
Colin?
The road to the possible 2023 peak is almost upon us. Alex, you'll agree. I went to Wolverine Dog rematch. Ooh.
See, I want the Wolverine and Dog rematch because I want to fix what was a blowout last time. I want it to at least be a close game. But I also don't want to play you guys because that means if we get to the national championship, it's a hell of a lot easier to win it.
Yep. Yeah. Georgia, you guys had your TCU last year, all right? Let Michigan get an equivalent of TCU.
Well, I mean, we got TCU and we didn't handle it, so
I'm gonna move on. I walked right into that one. Yo, what other game? What other games, man, that caught your eye on Saturday?
I mean, for me, the one that I was probably the most excited to see was Ohio and San Diego State, and it didn't disappoint for me. I was expecting a physical slugfest, and that's absolutely what it was.
Yeah.
Good defense, low score. I mean, 20-13 in college football, especially early on. I love those kind of scores, and it was a great game to watch. It was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, definitely solid defenses. Rorick was knocked out of the game, I think,
in the first quarter. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can find anything on it, but
yeah, because see if you can see what's going on now, but you could tell the offense just was not the same. And I mean, shout out to San Diego State's defense because that defense was a punishing defense, but Ohio
he'll be back.
He'll be back. Okay, good. Yeah, without
he's
Rorick,
clear for the next game.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, without him, it just it was frustrating. And I remember after he went down, watching some of those offensive series, it's one of those things where you this is why you need to get that number 2 some reps. You know what I mean? Get him in there so if he comes in, it's not a struggle. You know what I mean? Now, and don't get it twisted. Dude still had over 200 yards. He also had a touchdown, but he threw 3 picks, 18 of 41. I mean, he struggled for most of the game, and it's a shame, man, because we both had high hopes for Ohio. Not saying their season is derailed, but this was one that they let get away from, and we'll see what happens.
Well, I mean, you talk about the change in quarterbacks here, like Rourke early in the first quarter, he was 8 of 10 for 75 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that they were moving when Rourke was in. And then, when he went down, they just became too one-dimensional.
Yep. So like you said, he's coming back, but we'll see about that going forward. What else? What other games would you see?
I mean, we should probably talk about it here. I mean, USC, San Diego or San Jose State, they hung around longer than I expected them to. It was back and forth for a while there, and I was like, oh man, maybe they got it. I mean, I did tell Andrew he should have taken the spread. He should have because San Jose State, as they did all last year, held on to that spread.
Was it the over? What was it? 66? Wasn't that the line?
The over under was 36, and the line was USC by 31.5.
Ooh.
So they smashed the over. Well, not smashed it, but by almost 20. And then spread just under it was what? 28. Yeah, 28. They just doubled them. Yeah. So it was, But I mean, Cordero played pretty well, especially off the start. Going toe-to-toe with somebody like Caleb Williams, who they started slow. Yeah. They should not be having these kind of games. We talked about Sam Hartman getting what we expected. USC did not show us what we expected. USC should have dominated these guys early and often. I know they won by 28, but I mean, for it to be going into it was 7-0 USC after the first quarter and 21-14 SC going into the half. That shouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
So, I mean, props to San Jose State for hanging in there.
Well, yeah, I mean, and we're definitely not going to sit there and belittle San Jose State, but I think it goes to your point that you talked about all last year. That defense. I mean, San Jose State had 98 on the ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cordero threw 3 TDs with no picks. You know what I mean? Like that defense made these guys look, otherworldly. And look, they are good for what they are, and I'm actually interested to see what San Jose State does this coming year. But you 28 and to keep the game as close as it was. I mean, we saw what Pratt and Tulane did in the bowl game a year ago.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You're gonna need something more from that defense in USC to keep things going. But at the end of the day,
I like for them to go or play like that, or their defense play that bad against San Jose State. When you've got to play Notre Dame, Utah, Washington, Oregon, UCLA, like you've got a gauntlet of a schedule. Your defense plays like that, you're getting smoked by all 5-6 of those teams.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're gonna have to score 70 points to win those games.
Right. Right. And that's the problem. And we know your offense can light it up. That's never been the question. Never. It's always been that defense. And hey, look, they're gonna have to turn around. But listen, it's not all doom and gloom. Nope. Caleb still did what he did. 4 TDs, over 200, over 270. You know what I mean? He balled out. And I'm gonna tell you guys about my guy, my game ball a little bit later. But we had a bunch of other guys come in. What I was really looking for in this game was those receivers. You got Dorian Singer that came from I think Arizona. Brendan Rice, wanted to see, the son of the great Jerry Rice, wanted to see how he did. Obviously, Zachariah Branch, I'm going to talk about a little bit later. On one side, I'm just like, man, all these different guys, man, this is just like a smorgasbord. It's a buffet of wide receivers. But at the same time, there's only one ball to go around. You know what I mean? Yep. So you don't have these big numbers per se, but maybe 1 or 2 guys, but you have a lot of guys getting 3 catches, 4 catches, but just everybody getting touches.
Yeah.
And that actually, I think, is a little bit more important because Caleb, I think, is trying to show that he can run around and he can throw deep balls, but he can also distribute the ball more towards that NFL level.
Yeah. Seeing these Anthony there. Oh, well. And so, they allowed 198 passing and 198 rushing. It was the same rushing and passing, which is kind of impressive, actually. Yeah, Grinch, he's awful. I don't know why he still keeps getting jobs.
No. Yeah. Because it showed. It showed in that game. And again, we're not going to belittle San Jose State because they're no slouch. But with all the expectations of USC, you got to do better than that. You got to do better.
Well, not to mention the guys they brought in on the trenches, like Anthony and these guys will know, like Bear Alexander was a key guy they brought in to try and fix this run defense, and it was awful still.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I know, like, San Jose State ain't a bad team, but it should not have been that close for that long. The score ended up about what it should have been, but it shouldn't have taken a half of football for them to wake up and pull that spread. Right. And we're not far away from them having to play legit top tier competition.
Exactly. If you would have first looked at that without even looking at the game or any stats, you would have thought, it was like 56-0. And then all of a sudden backups came in, and that's when San Jose State started coming back. But like you said, San Jose State was in this game for the majority of it until USC started really separate themselves.
Yep.
So, and then we also had Louisiana Tech got the W over FIU. They were actually down in that game. And UMass gets a big W against New Mexico State. I'm going to be honest. I think I picked New Mexico State in this one. I didn't think UMass could get it done, but that offense with that quarterback, Tayson Famancha, I think that's his last name.
That's probably as good as we're going to get. So
he was that whole offense. He balled out along with a couple interceptions by my guy Diego Pavia, New Mexico State. It just didn't go the way New Mexico State might have liked. And
Yeah.
crazy, shout out to UMass, man, because they're not used to W's, at least at D1.
Yeah, well, I remember, what was it, a year or two ago when UConn and UMass made national television because it was like they both had like over 100-game losing streaks. It was like, who's going to break their losing streak? And I mean, here we are, and UMass starts off 1-0. And to put up 41 points.
Right.
That's, props to UMass. That was a very good game. And I was right there with you. I picked New Mexico State, and I didn't think twice. Yep. So props to them for proving us wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I right there with you. I mean, UMass had almost 200 yards on the ground, 197, and 4 rushing touchdowns. Now, Fumancha definitely helped with that. He almost had 100 by himself. But at the end of the game, at the end of the day, this game was close, but New Mexico State had 3 turnovers, including 2 interceptions, one being a pick 6 late. That ended up shutting the door for them. So shout out to UMass getting this first W of the season. And hey, let's go. Wait, you're 100. You're the best. You're the best in your conference right now. Just like Chris said, you know.
What a fourth quarter! Like it was 13-10 for UMass going into the fourth. So I mean, like UMass scored 28 points, and then New Mexico State scored 20. So it's like, man, what a fun fourth quarter.
Yes. Late, and that's why you gotta watch these games, people. That's why you gotta watch these games. Because even that the FIU game, FIU was winning most of that game, if I'm not mistaken, and Louisiana Tech came back late to get the W. So yeah, I love that. Yes, Magnus, we did talk about the shellacking, the 42-3 ball game, and Sam Hartman, how good he did look. And we're going to mention that a little bit later as well. What's going on, Ben? Hey, Sunday night, Ben. Sunday night. You already know what it is. Oh, I love that. Let's go.
Yeah.
So hey, let's get into it. Week 0. We've seen the games that were played. Now let's give some of our game balls in week 0. Alex, I'll come to you first. Who was one of your game balls of this week?
Well, we'll roll right back to Anthony's comment there. It's Sam Hartman's my first game ball.
Yep.
I mean, 19 of 23, 4 incompletions. Had as many incompletions as he did passing touchdowns.
Yep.
19 of 23 for 251 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. And like I said, man, he just looked cool, calm, collected, and just he looked comfortable, which I mean, he should. But I mean, Navy was getting pressure, and he still looked like it wasn't phasing him at all. So, props to him. He gets my first game ball of the season.
All right. I like that. For me, I'm going to go with the other big name game that we were talking about, and that's the USC ball game. And I'm going with Zachariah Branch, okay? The guy had 4 receptions, 58 yards, and a touchdown, almost 15 yards per catch, 14.6 average. But what everybody remembers from that game, guy takes it at his own 4-yard line, night, and just takes it back all the way. And you can see when he came around, it looked like the defenders had the angle on him, but that speed, and he just took off. And I mean, you got, like I said, Brendan Rice, you got Dorian Singer, you got a lot of guys that we've all been talking about and trying to see, this guy gonna be good, this guy gonna be good. Zachariah Branch, who also had 3 punt returns for 66 yards. Zachariah Branch, he put himself on the map. He's saying, look, this is what it is. This is where I'm at. Like I love seeing guys that we didn't know show up. Now, the thing is, can it be consistent? Can he be consistent? We'll see. But game ball, week 0, Zachariah Branch, absolutely.
I get like Zagnus game ball here.
Game ball goes to Link. He just shared Utah, Oregon is going to win the
Pac-12.
Pac-12, this season. Ooh, okay. Is that a prediction? I can dig it. Uh-oh. Sorry, the Utah starting quarterback Cam Rising won't play tomorrow.
Oh.
Woo.
Oh, yeah, that game's tomorrow. I forgot about that.
Yeah, some Thursday games. Ben, why is he hurt? What happened? You know?
I'm going to see if I can find anything on that.
Yeah, definitely look that up. While you're looking at that, I'm going to go for my second game ball. Ladies and gentlemen, we talked about this in the last about 5 to 10 minutes. The University of Massachusetts, UMass, who most of you might not know, and rightfully so. They've only been in D1 since 2013. So they balled out first week. And I got to shout out their quarterback, Taysom from Manchu, 10 of 17, 192 yards in the air, then added 17 carries, 96 yards on the ground, and a touchdown. He was their entire offense. And look, he was able, like I said, he's able to get those 96 yards. That was a part of the 197 that the team had in total. So, I mean, seeing this guy come out of nowhere is great. And now a name that might be very complicated for a lot of people, now they're going to all have to be saying it over and over and over. So, hey, give this guy some love. Taysom from Manchu. So, yeah.
So Cam Rising update. I forgot this happened, but in the Rose Bowl last year against Penn State, if you can remember all the way back to New Year's Day, tore his ACL.
Oh, what?
So I forgot about that. So he's close to a return, but it sounds like he's out. They have him listed as doubtful. So the starter going into tomorrow is more than likely junior Bryson Barnes, former walk-on who won his only start of his career at Washington State last year when Rising was that late scratch.
Oh, wow. And they play Florida, right?
Yep. Now Florida comes to them.
Yeah, okay. Ooh, man.
I still like Utah in that game. I still like Utah by a fair bit. I mean, it's Graham Mertz playing quarterback for the other side, so.
Why, Billy Napier? I'm starting to become the only one who is on your bandwagon right now, and you do this to me.
I'm hanging on, but it's like that foot's like getting ready to step off. Like,
oh god, I might follow you. This is too much for me, man. You don't go from Anthony Richardson to Graham Mertz. That's just not. Oh god.
Well, I mean, from Trask to Richardson's a step down as well, because Trask was a really good college quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to Anthony Richardson, who's an amazing athlete, can't seem to hit a 5-yard out route to save his life.
Mm.
And then you go to Graham Mertz, who just can't hit anything.
Yeah, I do think it might be closer. This Sunbelt Billy, these SEC people, man, they can say whatever, man. Sunbelt Billy. Look, I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm gonna stand behind the guy because I think he can turn it around. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen there because I don't think he's going to have enough time there.
Agreed.
He's going to have to do something. And I don't even think it's going to be a lot of big name wins and everything. I think he's going to have to get one or two upsets that are going to be huge and then potentially a bowl or something. But you saw Swamp Kings. I mean, Florida, they're hungry. Mm-hmm. They're hungry for it. So
yeah.
He said if Florida wins tomorrow night, you had to air.
I might have to hold the invite on a tomorrow show until after the game's played.
Right? Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Oh man. Oh, he said. Speaking of Florida, did you guys see Felipe France cut? Even though he stepped down to play tight end. Yeah, he stepped to play tight end as soon as he got in the league, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Because he was quarterback in college, but he wasn't going to get drafted as quarterback.
No.
Oh yeah, Swamp Kings was great. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Who's your last game ball?
For me, another game we talked about, that Vandy Hawaii game. For me, it's another quarterback, AJ Swan for Vanderbilt. I mean, we talked about, was it Mike Wright leaving?
Yep.
He went to NC State, did he not? No. Where did he go? Mississippi State. He's the backup to Will Rogers.
Yes.
Yeah. I knew it was something state. And we were all wondering who the quarterback's going to be. AJ Swan comes in, almost 67% completion percentage, 19 to 30, 258 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Came in again, did what he was supposed to do. It's not his fault the game is so close. He played very well. Numbers show that. And I hope he can continue this because they're going to need it if they want those wins we're saying they might get against Kentucky, against Florida, against Missouri, some of those teams. So, I mean, hopefully he keeps playing like this. But I don't think it'll be an issue.
Yeah, and yeah, to your point, it's going to come down to him. We know he can do well if he stays healthy. We know he can put these numbers, but it's going to come down to him if that team wants to have success. Because one thing I do know, and we both know, Clark Lee, great mind, a defensive guy, so he'll get that defense in line. You know, when Chris was saying with the fundamentals and all that, he'll have those boys running and gunning for next week. But AJ Swan, I think when we start talking about going and playing, you know, SEC teams, and I'm not even talking to LSU, the Georgias. I'm talking about, you know, Kentucky, Missouri, you know, some of these guys. AJ Swan is going to have to be that X factor. He's going to have to be the one that takes them over the top. So yeah, I like that.
Yep.
Absolutely. Those are our game balls. So look, we will be right back. You know what? I heard somebody was an amazing college or high school football player in Hampton. AI. Guy balled out, man. They called him Bubba Chuck. And then obviously his mom was like, I don't want you playing football. And we know him as the greatness in basketball. So thank you in some regards, because we're glad he was as great as he was. But one thing we know he didn't like was practice.
Listen, we talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice. Not a game. Not the game that I go out there and die for and play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We're talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that, man? We're talking about practice.
Love it.
Talking about practice. I wish I had that clip when I was in front of my coach. I'd be like, Coach, we're talking about practice, man. I'm not trying to. But look, let's go into it with one of our new topics we're doing this year: college football storyline, where we just some of the major stories that are going on. I want to do this. The game day will be in Charlotte, North Carolina, for the UNC versus South Carolina game on Saturday. Like I've mentioned, I'm leaving tomorrow. Myself and Will Kramer will be at this game, rooting. If you see the security come up and take somebody out, it might be me, because I don't know if we're on that red side or if we're on the blue side, but I will be decked out in that Carolina blue. So
you gotta.
Alex, they got me, Alex.
All of a sudden it's gonna pan over and you're being dragged out.
We're like, Tar Heels. But I do want to say something first, and it was mentioned to me yesterday, and I didn't get a chance to say it on Watching the Football Weekly. I do want to send out prayers and just well wishes to the University of North Carolina. For those of you that don't know, over I think the last 2 or 3 days ago, there was a shooting. A professor was actually shot by a student at the university. He has since been apprehended and is in custody right now. But obviously, I mean, in this day and age, but it's becoming too consistent. Every week, every month, we're hearing about some kind of shooting, and it's almost becoming a weird norm for some of these people, some of the students. So, prayers to all of them for sure. And I am glad we're going to Charlotte, which isn't that far, but at the same time, it is a neutral site for both of us. So we both can be here for this. And I'm going to tell you something, Alex. I'm very excited about this game, but I think a fair assessment would say that if you're not from North Carolina and you're not from South Carolina, you don't follow maybe this area of football, the East Coast, and this, you might not be as enthused about this game. Am I wrong about that?
I mean, if you're looking at it just from the rivalry standpoint, I think you're absolutely fair to say that. I think if you're looking at it from just like an average football standpoint, I think people are going to be very excited about this game for the sheer fact of Drake May versus Spencer Rattler. Two programs that have high expectations this year, and they should, because it's two very good football programs, two very good quarterbacks, two very good coaches, and they're looking to make some noise in their respective conferences. So I think this game has all the makings of being one of the best games this weekend. And I think a lot of people should be tuning into it if they're not.
Oh, yeah. I mean, at the very least, Drake May, Spencer Rattler. You know what I mean? Two premier quarterbacks. Obviously, we know our feelings about Drake May. Spencer Rattler is somebody that I think has gotten a bad rap. I've been one of the people that's been on his case, but but a lot of this and a lot of these guys will find out in the future, it isn't as much about your ability. A lot of these guys can play, but it's about the system. And if you get with a coach that believes in you, him being over there with Beamer, I think is the best thing to happen to him. Kind of similar to how Hendon Hooker, his whole career in college changed when he got with Josh Heupel. You know, it's just they mesh and they work very well together. So I think that is going to be great. And then the fact that game day is coming to a North Carolina game. Let's go.
Yeah.
I love that, man. Come on.
Well, and that's great for schools that typically don't get those kind of games. Because, I mean, let's be real. Game day is typically reserved for Alabama, for Georgia, for Michigan, Ohio State, and those teams that are the original blue blood schools. And for it to go, like last year when they went to Jackson State, we had to go to Montana. Now like North Carolina, South Carolina, like it's going different places. And I think it's only good for college football because you're showing different parts of the country, different campuses, and showing some love to some teams that deserve it. So I think it's great.
Yeah, it's about damn time, man.
Yeah.
But this rivalry is dubbed the Battle of the Carolinas. It's been going on since 1903. Of course, my Tar Heels lead the series 35-20-4. But South Carolina has got the last victory. They beat us in the Mayo Bowl, the Duke's Mayo Bowl, I think it is.
Yeah.
38-21. That's when Coach Beamer got the mayo all on him. I couldn't do that. I'd be like, nope, we're tanking the game because I'm just not getting doused with mayo. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'll have a really good game. You can win it last second, and you can get the mail. Like, I'll take the loss. I don't care.
We're good with that, right?
Yeah.
Both schools, interesting fact, both schools lay claim to the moniker Carolina. Obviously, North Carolina wants to say we're that school because of the fact that we're the first public university. But then you go on the flip side, you go South Carolina, and they're like, well, we're the first to really make declare ourselves a state and doing it like that. At the end of the day, there's one Carolina, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get it twisted. Do not get it twisted. Let's go.
I'm waiting for Will to pop in the comments now.
Right?
Like that.
But look, let's go ahead and move on down the list to another one of our storylines real quick. And there's a video I'm going to play right now because apparently, if those of you that don't know, everybody knows about, let's see if I can get it, the U. Everybody knows about the University of Miami, Coral Gables down in Florida. But a lot of you might not know as much about the University of Miami or Miami of Ohio. They're in the Mid-American Conference, the MAC, and apparently they kind of feel like they might be the real Ohio. Take a look at this.
Are you and the guys excited to try and prove once and for all who's the real Miami?
Oh yeah, that's gonna be awesome. That'll be fun.
I think this plays off the same question, but the real Miami is where in Coral Gables or here in Oxford?
Oxford, Ohio.
Because you're around longer, you're just.
No, I just think I think we'll show them September 1st.
Wee!
All right.
Oh, okay. Now, Alex, I do have to ask this question to get a little context. We know about the history of the U and all those national championships. Does Miami of Ohio have anything to speak of in their history that they can really talk like this?
No, not really. I mean, we just went back the last 20 years.
Yeah.
They had maybe three seasons of 8 wins or more.
Yep.
Now, I think it was what 2007. I want to say is when they finished top 10.
Yeah, no, 2003. They were, what did we say, 10-1 or something like that. It was like 20 years ago. And then they finished like 2010. They finished 10-4.
Yeah,
I think it was. Is it?
Yeah, 2007 they were 6-7. That's right.
Yeah.
2006 2-10, 7-4.
Oh.
13-1 in 2003 and finished 10th in the AP poll. That's their best year in the last 20 years. Was 20 years ago. So yeah, it's not good. I mean, 8-5 the year after that, 7-4, slowly declined 2-10.
Yeah.
6-7.
What were they last year?
2-10.
Last year they were good.
Last year was, I just gotta scroll back through. 0-12 in 2013, 2-10 2014. Consistent like 500 or just under from 2015 to like 2019-ish. They had one 8-win season in there. Last year they were 6-7.
Okay.
The year before that they were 7-6. Yeah, they lost the Bahamas Bowl last year to UAB, 24-20.
Okay, all right. Well, not
the
great.
year before, they won the Frisco Football Classic Bowl, 27-14 over North Texas.
You know about that Frisco Classic? Let's go.
2019, because obviously no bowl in 2020. They lost the Lending Tree Bowl, 27-17 versus Louisiana. But yeah, they also won the MAC that year at 8-5 at that point.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Look, all we're saying is that those are bold words, my guy, saying that you are the real you. But hey, this is what college football is about. You have the opportunity to show up and show out. Let's see if you can do it. Because other than that, it's gonna be a struggle for you all day. Because that's you just gave the bulletin board material.
Now, to be fair, we don't know who Miami's starting quarterback is.
Very true.
Are they gonna throw Tyler Van Dyke back out there and just hope he can become what they thought he was gonna be, or are they going elsewhere? We don't know.
From what I've seen, looking at some of the the ACC preseason stuff, it seems like it's his job to lose. I mean, from the way that Mario Cristobal is talking, I mean, it's Van Dyke's job to lose, and they're talking about him supposed to have it better year than this year. But I'm sorry, you and I were on here. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We were on here 365 days ago, literally saying this man and watch out, Heisman, consideration, everything, and none of that came to fruition. So, yeah, we're in wait and see. So right now, this game is up in the air. This game is up in the air because hey, there's a reason why Miami of Ohio said that, because Miami has not been what we've expected in a long time. So.
I'll take Alex a little betting shtick here. Bet on Miami to win.
Yeah, right. I guarantee Miami will get that W. Right.
I guarantee Miami will win a game this weekend.
That's right. Yo, and one more thing in the storyline, we talked about it earlier. Jackson State and UMass both got W's. UMass has joined the FBS in 2013. And so this is always great to see them getting it done because they used to be the doormat for a while. In FBS and FCS, they consistently were in the semifinals and getting to the championship, and that's what Division II though. You know what I mean? So in this, but then you also got Jacksonville State, and we heard about them a couple years ago. Got the upset, sorry Ben, over your Florida State Seminoles. And hey, this was their first game in the FBS, and they started off the right way, got that W, man. So my question to you, is this finally us seeing that the transfer portal and just players wanting to go to lesser name schools, the NIL deal, all that stuff. Is this bringing those smaller teams up to contention?
I'm gonna bump the brakes on that narrative a little bit because they're beating other smaller school teams.
Yeah.
I mean, UMass beat New Mexico State, Jacksonville State beat UTEP. It's not like Jacksonville State went back into Tallahassee and beat the Seminoles again.
Yeah.
It's not like UMass went into the Big House or Chapel Hill and took out one of our teams. Like, once we start to see them kind of take on some top tier teams and they just got to compete. They don't necessarily have to win, but if they go toe-to-toe with some of these guys and it's a really close game, then we can say it's kind of balancing it out. But for now, I think that narrative's got to have some brakes on it a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just week 0, the first week, technically. So, yeah, I definitely will hold back. But, I mean, it's an interesting question to have. And I think it's more wishful thinking. You know what I mean? Because you always have the 1, 2, the Alabamas, the Georgias, the top teams. You got no disrespect, but Ohio State also. You have those top 4, so it's good, in my opinion, to see teams come up out of nowhere.
Oh, absolutely.
Like Mizzou. Shout out to you, Scott.
That's right. They do play tomorrow.
Yeah. And matter of fact, let's go ahead and get into that right now because I'm just starting to realize this now. There's a bunch of games on tomorrow.
Yeah.
And
we get
decent ones.
Yeah, Florida, Utah's tomorrow.
Yeah.
No, I don't want just ACC. I want the full schedule.
Nebraska, Minnesota.
That'll be a fun game. I'm excited for that one.
Yeah.
What else we got here? NC State, UConn in UConn should be interesting.
Oh, nice.
What else? I mean that's it for the really interesting ones tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean that's still 3-4 good games tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then Friday, CMU going to East Lansing to play the Spartans.
Yeah.
Miami is Friday.
Yep.
Louisville and Georgia Tech for the Aflac kickoff on Friday night. That's going to be a good one. And Stanford, Hawaii. That should be an interesting game.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's Friday night. Hawaii's hosting that game.
Yeah. And I'm glad. Yeah, that's one of the ones I want to pay attention because we are going to have an eye on the Pac-12 this year.
Mm-hmm.
Just seeing what they're going to do. We talked about it a lot last week or on Saturday, as a matter of fact, about who can be the team to kind of distance themselves. And look, I was going back and looking at it, and it kind of baffled me. What's his name? Alec said Cal.
Yeah.
And then you had Andrew said, who did he say? Obviously Washington, but he also said Arizona.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get the talent, but let's see if it could compute to wins. But I am interested to see what they got. I mean, shoot, if they can do it, prove me wrong. I love it. It's college football, baby.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, that Friday, Stanford, Hawaii, all is good. And then obviously it goes into Saturday. Most all teams go. Our game is going to be on. Your game is the big noon on Peacock, by the way.
Yep.
That's going to be interesting. You got Peacock? You good with that?
No, but I got my ways to find games here.
All right.
I'll figure that out there.
I was about to say, do I need to run a long cable from my house all the way up to?
I'm interested to see how, because like I was messaging you guys earlier in the week. So Harbaugh didn't name one head coach; he named 4 head coaches for the 3 weeks he's gone.
What?
So the head coach this weekend is defensive coordinator Jesse Minter.
Okay.
Because by the way, offensive coordinator Sherrod Moore also suspended for this game. They added that self-imposed suspension. Jesse Minter this week. Next week is split. So half the game's going to Jay Harbaugh, Jim's son.
Yeah.
Who's the special teams coordinator, and then second half is going to running backs coach Mike Hart, who was I believe the associate head coach for Indiana for all those years before he came back to us.
Yeah.
And then game 3 is going to Sherrod Moore.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite part about all this is who he hired as the associate head coach for the first 3 weeks of the season. He brought back his dad, Jack Harbaugh, as the associate head coach for the first 3 weeks of the season.
I love that. Oh,
Yeah.
that was pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that don't know, the Michigan State era, they know this. Mike Hart was a great running back at Michigan. He's also the
Yes,
one
sir.
that coined the phrase "little brother."
Yep.
So
Yes, he was.
in my household, we don't say that name, but I know that's somewhere you. I know it's one of you guys.
That's why we're doing the show while you're not at home, right?
Right. Exactly.
Oh.
Oh man. So yeah, going into that, obviously UVA playing number 12 Tennessee, starting the Joe Milton era. Want to see what that's about.
Mhm.
Colorado TCU.
I'm excited for that game.
That's that. A lot of eyes will be on that one just because we want to see
Mhm.
Deion can do it. We want to see what the offense is like, what that team is like.
Yep.
Trying to look down the list.
Ooh, Fresno State Purdue. I like that game.
Yeah.
I like that game a lot.
A lot of people are hyping Fresno State to be a legitimate force this year.
Well, and I want to see what they do without Jake Haener.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to see. Who's taking over the pivot? Who's manning the offense there, and how different does it look? And I mean, we could see the debut of Hudson Card at Purdue as well. So, I will be keeping a close eye on that one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. One of the ones I'm gonna be looking at, going back to the Pac-12, Boise State playing number 10 Washington. Some people have picked Boise State to win the Mountain West. Obviously, a lot of people, Andrew included, picked Washington to potentially win the Pac-12. I think that this game, well, obviously, we're going to see all the talent from Washington, but obviously that run, we're going to see if Michael Penix Jr. can start that Heisman or potential Heisman run and Heisman contention. But Boise State, man, that's one of those that is definitely always gives a good game, and they got a lot of returning guys coming back. I think this might give Washington a scare. I don't think Washington's going to get the L. They're not going to lose this game, but I do think that this game might be kind of similar to the USC, where 3 quarters the game is still in doubt, and then the fourth quarter, you start to see some separation.
I could absolutely see that. West Virginia, Penn State, bringing back that rivalry.
Oh, I love that.
I wonder though what a lot.
I wonder what, because we know what Penn State's going to be this year, but I wonder what West Virginia is.
Yeah.
They struggled in a number of games. I think Texas put up 28 on them in like the first half or like the first quarter and a half or something like that last year. So. And West Virginia, I think they last year they had their quarterback Doge, but he wasn't that great. And now they have this backup, I believe it's Green. I think that's his last name.
I think so.
Yeah, he was a freshman last year. He's got wheels. He can go for days. Reminds me of like a Taysom Hill, but I wonder how they really just use his legs a lot more. And in the games that I saw, so I'm wondering what they got, how his arm looks. So,
yeah. And there's 3 games on Sunday. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
So we got Northwestern Rutgers, Oregon State traveling to San Jose State. That's an interesting one. And then obviously the heavyweight matchup, LSU, Florida State.
Oh yeah.
Man, is that going to be fun? That's neutral site, is it not?
I believe so. When it was neutral last year, wasn't it?
Yes, it was Camping World Stadium. Where is Orlando? So, I mean,
well, it's not too far for either team, to be honest with you. Because Louisiana.
I was gonna say it's just as neutral site as North Carolina, South Carolina.
Yeah, right. So yeah, look for those. Oh, Monday, September 4th. Here's a game that's going to be a sleeper. Number 9 Clemson versus Riley Leonard and Duke. I never root for Duke, but I will this game.
I'm rooting heavy for Duke in that one. They give Clemson a 13-point spread. I don't know that I like that. I think it might be closer than that.
Look, I love Klubnik. I love Will Shipley, but we know about the pieces that Clemson lost on that defense. And Duke is playing for their quarterback, for their coach. They got some top-tier O-linemen. One of their guards is top 5. Was it a guard or maybe?
I'll look it up. I'll look at it here. I've got the list here.
Because I know one of their guards is up there.
Got all the papers here.
Yes.
You got to keep going back. Keep going back.
Ladies and gentlemen, we do extensive research on the show, all right?
Yeah. There's a lot here. Here we go. Graham Barton, the 5th tackle.
Okay.
Yeah. I like him a lot. Obviously, like their quarterback a lot, Riley Leonard. I think they could give Clemson a scare here, and I think it's a lot more than the scare we're talking about some of these other teams giving. Yeah. I'm thinking like 5 minutes they finally pull away. Like I have them on the ropes for a long time.
It's gonna be something like a late pick 6, and Clemson's gonna be up like 2 or 3, and the pick 6 will open up the ball game.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, you would talk about a game to end the weekend.
That's a great one.
That is a beautiful game. So shout out to them. Shout out to the SEC. Look, ladies and gentlemen, we have so many games coming up. Starting tomorrow, on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Come on, Monday. Let's go.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Let's get it. This is what we're waiting for. This, for many people, this is the return of college football. We don't fault those people. We just say, here, you can have that. We've been already.
That's why it's called week 0 last week. Yeah.
Right. We've been watching games since last week. We're good. Yeah. But still, this is going to be great because now a lot of these questions are going to finally be partially answered. You know, how well can these guys do? What are these guys looking like this year? You know, we'll have many storylines and all that to come. But I'm excited, man. I'm really hyped for it.
Yeah, you better believe it. I cannot wait.
Man, oh man. What are you gonna do for your game, man? Are you gonna? Because it's ECU, but it's still Harbaugh and Moore's not there. So
yeah,
you nervous at all, or?
No, because they lost Holton Ahlers, Keaton Mitchell. Had they had those two, you better believe I'm nervous.
Oh yeah.
I'm on the ropes like NC State was last year. But I think the talent gap's going to be big enough. We've got those guys, obviously not in the stadium, but they're able to coach all week. So they're going to get these guys ready to go Monday through Friday. And then, I mean, you still got JJ, you got Corum, you got Donovan Edwards, you've got that nasty offensive line. I heard Will Johnson might not be playing the corner.
Oh, wow.
He might be out this week, just kind of like a precautionary injury kind of thing. Make sure he's 100%. But I think the talent gap will be enough. I'm excited to see the guys play.
Yes. There's nothing like just that first pad crack. And you just, yes. I cannot wait.
It's different when you're watching, like, I was excited for watching Notre Dame Navy, but when it's your own team that you're cheering for, your own guys, it's a whole different feeling.
Oh, yeah. And if you happen to catch that North Carolina game and you hear a fan going absolutely bonkers, this guy, it will be me.
I can't wait for our little NCAA football group chat where it's just me and you two, and I can just poke and prod.
Right, which, as a matter of fact, program announcement. Next Wednesday, if by chance something really awful happens, we might not be doing the game. We're gonna need a week to kind of mend that stuff. But no, I'm excited, man. I can't wait. Going there was one of my best friends. Going to go out to his place in South Carolina and then go back to Charlotte, watch the game, be a part of that atmosphere. Funny thing, this is the first time I've ever been to a North Carolina football game.
Really?
Yep. I've been to basketball games. I've been to other random events, soccer, baseball, this other stuff. Never been to a football game. So,
man, take that all in, man.
Just goosebumps, man.
And you got them now. Wait a couple days.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Oh my goodness. Let me get down there first so I can just relax, man.
Yeah.
But look, ladies and gentlemen, we are close to the end, man. We got so much for you, but as far as the next couple of days of football and everything, we're so glad that you guys tuned in with us tonight. We want to do what we've been doing, talking about these mascots, because now you're starting to see these mascots, so they're starting to come out more Oh yeah, it's gonna be good. So hey, Mascot Madness update. Here we go. Yeah, buddy. Here we go.
All right.
Here we go.
So, final four teams. Top left bracket, the winner of that whole bracket, we had Montezuma of San Diego State, who we just saw play on Saturday, going up against the massive favorite, the gigantic heavyweight of this bracket, Trojan and Traveler of USC, in the bottom left bracket. On the top right, we had Petey the Pirate of ECU, who played my boys in blue this weekend, going up against Blaze the Dragon of UAB. We'll start with that right one, because it's the blowout. Petey the Pirate moving on, national championship bound, 7-3 over Blaze. Not close.
Yep.
And the reason I left the other one, I thought this side was going to be the blowout. I was so wrong. 11 votes total, 6-5. For the second week in a row, Trojan barely sneaks by 1 vote.
Wow.
6-5, 2 weeks in a row.
Only 6-5?
Yeah. Against Herky and against Monty, 2 weeks in a row.
Wow.
So let's see how this goes. We got Trojan and Petey for the national championship.
Here we go.
The winner of this, don't forget, gets to go play Harry and Ugga for the winner takes all national champion. So, man, I'm excited to see how it goes.
I'm gonna be honest, and normally we don't do this unless it's North Carolina, obviously. But I'm kind of hoping that Trojan and Traveler go, because I don't need to see another Georgia TCU or another Georgia playing a lower name slate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I want that heavyweight matchup.
I do, because I think that would be a great matchup, and that's something we can string out and let them actually vote on it. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll have the winner of this bracket set for next week's show. Winner will be announced there, and then I think we'll see how long we want to let that overall winner take all one set, if it's 1 week or if it's 2 weeks. And just see how long we can get it brewing for, see how many people we can get involved on it. But yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Cannot wait. Appreciate all of you joining us for that, because this has been fun for us. It's been fun for you guys, with the exception of maybe one person. Are you kidding me? No, we did not see how you voted, buddy. We know.
I saw how he voted.
You saw how he voted?
Complete opposite of us.
Of course. This guy. Yeah. You know what? Truman's not coming back to the 5th tournament. Yeah. Okay? All the way down there. If we have one. Get out of here. Come on. Yo, hey, we're at the end, ladies and gentlemen, and we want to hit you really quick with not going for one, but going for Yeah, buddy, we are going for 2. I'm going to start real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, we have named maybe 5, 10, just a handful of the games that are going on. Mm-hmm. And we both are diehard. He's Michigan, I'm North Carolina. So we understand you are glued to your TV from the start to the finish. But do yourself a favor in this 2023 season. Go look at some of these other games.
Yes.
Look at some of these games that you don't know the players, that you don't know the team, that you don't know anything about it, and watch it, because it's football. And a lot of times it's really good football. But because of who it is and the branding, we tend to say, I'm not going to watch that. Yeah. That UMass, New Mexico game, that Ohio, San Diego State game, both of those are not games that a lot of people are going to be like, we don't want to watch. But we both know you missed out on a gem, both of them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean? And for 2 different styles. An offensive masterpiece and a defensive masterpiece, both ways.
Yo, so tune in college football, because as me and this man know over here, just as quickly as it's back, it will be gone again. So
like that.
Just like, right. So hey, dig into it. Watch it, man. Because where else would you rather be?
Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna piggyback right off you for that. Kind of the end of that into the beginning of that. So it felt like just yesterday Georgia TCU were playing and Georgia was whooping on them, and we're already here. 7 months, almost 8 months later, we're already back, and 4 months from now, it's gone again. Yeah. So sit back, enjoy the ride, and like Sean said, there's so many different games. There's 130 some odd Division I football teams. There's Div 2, there's Div 3. There's some sort of football out there for everyone, different styles. I mean, not everyone's going to enjoy that San Diego State Ohio game where it's that slobber knocker and just people beating up on each other. Some people might prefer the USC San Jose State where it's high scoring and scoring at will. But there's something for everybody, and there's multiple games of each style. So just get out there, find your other teams. Andrew found San Jose State. Different reason, it was his cash cow a little bit, but it's still entertaining football. So, just go take a look at the other teams.
Absolutely. Look, we got to let you go, ladies and gentlemen. My guy right here has got a show. Tell the people what you got going on tonight.
So in about probably 10 minutes or so here, I'll start up Restoring the Roar on NSD. Just going to go over the 53-man roster. It's going to be a nice, short, sweet show because got to keep it just that because the next Wednesday, it's the night before Lions and Chiefs there.
Yes.
Game 1 of week 1. We are just about there. And, just final touches before we're back.
Let's go. Oh, I'm excited. Hey, and at the end of the year, towards December, when our guy Andrew Faubert starts doing the NSD, the polls and the different accolades, best new show of the year, this guy right here. Got my vote. Let's go. Yo, hey, we are out of here. Oh, wait, one more thing. If we're going for 2, can I have 2 votes for Truman? Yes, we'll have Truman versus Truman, and you can vote for both of them.
maybe Scott will give you a whole bracket of Truman, and then Truman can win.
Yeah, then you won't be disappointed, Scott. Come on, man. Yo, for my guy Alex Loosemore, it's your boy Sean Spencer. This has been Let's Talk College Football. Hey, game day tomorrow.
Enjoy.
Let's go.
Tar Heels! You already know what it is.
That was for Will, okay? That was for Will.
I figured as much.